What's up guys, it's James here from Smok-King UK, where we review, communicate and educate all things cigars. 2 months ago we set ourselves a challenge of whether we could infuse one of our cigars with some rum, and it's now finally time to light it up and see if it works. So let's run the intro, let's get it cut, let's get it lit, and hopefully it's worked. Run the intro. So before we get it cut and lit, I'm going to run quickly through what our process was, and we ran it as simple as possible. We got ourselves here an airtight container. We have a boveda pack of 69%. Of course, we have one of our very own Smok-King New World cigars. We have the Corona size in here. And of course, we have a smaller container within the Tupperware that was full at the time, which no longer is. So that rum's gone somewhere was also full of rum. And we've left it. This Tupperware has not been opened since, and it's been sat here now for 2 months, marinating in all its glory. Or it's just going to taste exactly like a cigar. Of course, if you're going to do this, make sure you take the cigar out of the cellophane. So, for the first time in 2 months, let's open it up. Now I'm hoping this is going to smell delightful when we light this up. Wow. Well, that's enough to get you drunk just off the fumes. Wow. That is really, really strong. The cigar feels quite moist. I definitely think it's taken some of it in. The cigar feels a lot more rough and a lot more bumpy compared to what the cigar normally feels like. They're very smooth feeling cigars. They're almost like silk. I've said this in multiple videos, but this has gone really bumpy. It's almost like shriveled up a little bit. It's also, I don't know if you can pick this up on the camera, it's almost got like a bend that's formed in the cigar, and it feels quite humid. It's very squidgy as well. Most of our cigars are nice and packed, and you get a little bit of bounce. This I could probably put my thumb straight through. You can definitely smell the rum on the cigar, especially around the foot. I think this may have worked. Now, with how moist this feels, I'm going to be ever so delicate taking the cap off this cigar. That cigar is so moist. The cutter went through that like a knife through butter. There was no strain behind that at all. So I'm going to do a dry draw like I normally do. I can already taste the rum on it. I think this has definitely worked. I'm really excited to get it lit now. That's really sweet. The rum is really sweet anyway. So of course, I'm going with my Smok-King single jet flame torch, hands down one of the best torches on the market. I'm just going to be working this in little circles. And I'll dive a little bit into the build of the cigar just a little bit later on in the video. If you want to see everything that is about this cigar, make sure you go check out one of our other videos where we reviewed it, and go follow us on social medias as well. I'm just working my way slowly around to the outside, forming a nice layer of ash on there. Okay. Just missed a slight bit on there with the lighting. Well, I'm holding the cigar in my mouth because it feels that soft. I feel like it's just going to break in half. That's got a real bend in that cigar. That's really weird because in some elements, you can definitely taste it. When you're drawing the smoke into your mouth, you can taste the rum. But once you've exhaled the smoke from your mouth and it's no longer there, there's no lingering aftertaste. And the same with the retrohale, when you take it through the nose, that sweety notes and those caramel notes, which you get from the Smok-King rum. It's one of my favourite rums. You get it on the nose. But now I haven't had the cigar in my mouth for a few seconds. I can't taste it at all. It's weird because the smoke doesn't feel as heavy as it normally does. And I've smoked a lot of these. It's definitely sweeter, it's definitely creamier. But it doesn't purely taste like the rum. You still definitely getting all the tobacco flavours in there. I think if we went for the dipped approach where we just dipped it in a bottle, it'd obviously taste a lot stronger and it would just taste like pure rum. But this, you're still getting all the elements of the tobacco in as well. Definitely thinking I should dry this out maybe for a couple of hours before I lit it up. But it's lovely. What that infusion has kind of done is eliminated the subtle spice you normally get on these cigars. Especially because it's Nicaraguan tobacco on the inside. When you light it up, you normally get a nice like white pepper, kind of a little bit of a spice. With that infusion, it's kind of eliminated it. There's no spice on this cigar at all. I've noticed it's burning really slowly as well. It might be because of the moisture that's still within the cigar itself. Definitely getting the rum. I would definitely say that's worked. I think definitely in future, if I was going to do it again, dry it out a bit more before I actually light it up, because this is burning extremely slow. But it's worked. That is absolutely delightful. Pairing wise, if I was going to go with this, I wouldn't go anything too strong. For the first time, I think, in smoking history on this channel, I wouldn't recommend coffee. I think it would ruin it altogether. I'd go for more of a soft drink like Pepsi or Coca-Cola. Cream soda would go amazing. Maybe a lemonade. That is such a bizarre experience. It's worked, but it hasn't. Personally, I thought it was going to taste a lot stronger compared to what it does. But I'm not really a flavoured kind of cigar smoker. I much prefer the flavour of standard tobacco. So I think it's surprising me because I'm enjoying it more. I was expecting it to purely taste like rum, and it doesn't. It definitely is just, it tastes like a cigar that you get a slight element of that rum flavour of the smoke in your mouth. As soon as it's exhaled, it's gone. And there is no spice. This is like the lightest cigar I've ever smoked in my life. I would say this tastes lighter than the double Connecticut from JC Newman with a brick house. Very strange. So I'll definitely leave a link in the description below for the Smok-King rum. I was not a rum drinker, did not like rum at all until I started at Smok-King, and I wanted to try their rum and it converted me. I now love rum. I drink it all the time. Probably one of my favourite drinks to pair with a cigar. So if you want to try and do this yourself, it's very easily done. Airtight Tupperware, a nice bottle to pack in there that can maintain the humidity. and a shot glass or a small container full of whatever spirit. And you don't necessarily have to do this with rum. You could do it with anything. You could do it with scotch, you could do it with coffee, you can do it with chocolate, you can do anything like that. It's a natural process of leaving it for 2 months. Some people say 6 months, but I don't want to wait that long. And it's worked absolutely beautifully. It surprised me. It's definitely surprised me. I was expecting it to be a lot stronger. And the way that the cigar has like warped and bent and became really bumpy on the wrapper, I wasn't expecting that either. When you do the retro, you get the sweetness of the rum, but you almost get the taste of the burn that you normally would get with rums. You can definitely like smell the alcohol on the nose after, and the aroma in the room is absolutely delightful. You've got that beautiful tobacco smoke. It smells quite mellow compared to some cigars. I can come into this room afterwards after I smoke some cigars, and for hours it smells exactly the same. This is really mellow on the nose in the air, and I don't think it's going to be long until the aromas of this cigar is going to be completely gone. I also think we picked the perfect cigar for trying this little experiment. Because of course, if you're going to be trying doing this at home, you don't want to be doing it on something like a Maduro. You don't want to be something that's so bold, so full-bodied, and so full of flavour on its own. You want something mild, so the natural flavours of that tobacco are not going to contaminate and overpower the infusion that you're trying to do. This naturally is a really light cigar. It's a beautiful early morning cigar. If you watch that interview with Des Hammond from the Cigar Cabin, he actually said himself, this is the perfect everyday morning cigar. It's got natural flavours like cream and vanilla and leather, a little bit of coffee, but it's not so strong, it's not overpowering. What's up guys, so I'm not quite at the band yet, but I wanted to jump on and just say a couple of things. As soon as I hit halfway through this cigar, the construction just went to pot. Now I know this has something to do with the rum, because the Smok-King cigars have some of the best construction I've ever seen on a cigar. And you can go and watch our interview with Des, you can go and look at the review that I did on the Toro. They've always been perfect. The head of ash has always been real strong, and it's always been crystal white. And if you've watched any of our videos before, I'd say head of crystal white ash is a great indicator that the soil and the farmers really took care of that crop before it even became a cigar. Now this has had the most uneven burn I've ever experienced. The ash has become really brittle and really flaky. It seemed to be the center of the filler, the center of the cigar wasn't burning. The outside tobaccos are burning a lot quicker, and sometimes you do get a little bit of coning when you're smoking a cigar. It normally means you're smoking a cigar too quickly, but this isn't. And there was just one strand of ash that was almost half an inch long, which I had to knock off into the ashtray, and whilst the rest of the tobaccos around the outside were coming away. Now I don't know whether this is the rum, the alcohol, or maybe should have dried it out a little bit longer before lighting it up. It was very moist at the beginning, and because that moisture is in the cigar, it might have been causing it to have an uneven burn. But at this point, you were getting no taste of that rum at all. All those sweet flavors we were getting, those creamy notes we were getting, have completely gone, and the cigar doesn't really taste of anything now. What started off as amazing has kind of had a rapid decline. Don't get me wrong, it's still a good cigar, it still tastes like tobacco, but I think the rum has actually dulled down some of the natural flavors we were getting. These are some of my favorite cigars. I smoke them all the time. I love them. This is why when we do interviews, this is why we did the interview with Des. We had a Smok-King cigar because they are absolutely fantastic. And I feel like the rum heightened it to begin with, and then has kind of ruined it halfway through. All I'm getting right now is almost a taste of alcohol, but not the taste of rum. I can taste that almost like the afterglow and the aftertaste of the burn and what like rubbing alcohol smells like. It kind of tastes like that right now. So, did the experiment work? Yes, it did. The cigar definitely infused. Did it start off great? Yeah, it was absolutely fantastic. Did I ruin the cigar by infusing it with rum? At this point, I would say yes. Maybe rum isn't the greatest spirit to try and infuse a cigar with. I definitely feel like if we went for the dipped approach, we would get a completely different smoking experience, because I have smoked cigars that have been dipped in rum before when I was visiting Jamaica, and it was absolutely fantastic, and I wish I brought more back with me. So I don't know. This could be down to my own doing. Maybe I didn't let it dry off enough, but I wanted to open that Tupperware on camera with you guys. So it's been a very different one. It's been a strange one. It's almost like the cigar at a 180-degree turn, and there's not many cigars that do that. Would I recommend other people to try it? Yeah, because it's been fun. It's been great. I've literally been counting down the days I could light it up, and it's been really fun to see if we'd get a decent outcome. It'd be really interesting to do it with maybe like a scotch or bourbon, and it'd definitely be great to try with coffee beans or chocolate. I'm also interested to try doing it as a dipped version and compare the two, so maybe we'll get that on the channel at some point. So it's been very strange. And here's a prime example. We've had uneven burns like that popping up left, right and centre throughout the smoke, which I've had to go behind and level out my normal techniques that I teach you in other videos. Didn't really work. So it's definitely been a strange one. But thank you for coming along with me on this journey of discovery, and thank you for coming along to enjoy the experiment. Thank you to all the guys who got involved at the beginning of the experiment 2 months ago when we first posted it on social media. And if you're not following us over there, go hit the link down in the description below. We post every single day over there, from giveaways, promos, cigars, how-to, industry insights, pipes, snuffs, roll your owns, you name it, we post it. We post every single day. So you're going to learn something just with posting us over there. It's a great community. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, enable your notifications. We post twice a week over here. We have Pipe Tobacco Tuesdays, where we review some of the best tobaccos from all over the world, and we sample them right here for you. And that posts at 7 o'clock. And of course, we have our normal postings at 7 o'clock on a Friday, where we do some weird stuff like trying to infuse cigars with rum. It's a fantastic channel. We've already grown it way faster than what we thought we were going to, and that's down to you guys to hit that subscribe button. So thank you again for coming along with me on this journey. Thank you for getting involved in the experiment, and let me know if you predicted already that this wasn't going to work. I've been James, and I'll see you in future videos. See you next time.